Voilà. Allez.
Chelsea really had to change a couple of things. It was trouble. Asem Kesia Pabeto in terms of more transfer and recruitment strategy. News are about every England, South America, and so about any good enough for Chelsea Football Club, especially with recruitment. In the last few hours, some big news if you want them about, and we're going to delve into it. And Chelsea needs to be very, very careful in how they approach the transfer market. Obviously, there is updates on our branch friend Michael Olise. There is updates on Jhon Duran. But first of all, this is what I think that Chelsea have to change. First of all, no, but yes, starting with the update on Michael Olise in sense. Before that, mind you, said next Euros games now, so Austria about a very, very good game against France. Momentum with it was 1-0. A Weber own goal, and of course, France. In Germany, France with me winning. Also, before that game, no Belgium, they lose 1-0 against Slovakia. Mind you, say France are in that group with Netherlands. And Netherlands for good on share. No, last minute going out with go saying has proven to be a very, very important goal because Poland is not going to be an easy team to play against, and same as Austria, and of course as France as well. It was an important goal. But we'll delve into all of those Euros conversation. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Now, in about 6 months now, and at Chelsea has scouted some very, very important players. And in the scouting of these players, they had made it very, very clear that these players are very important to them. Now, any player Ben wants to make it. I'm talking about two players that Nanka Chelsea a deal. But we've come to realize an area say deal ni me and have gone down the drain and Timia Muscle. The Chelsea have lost out on these players. First of all, our brand here friend Pedro Lima. Pedro Lima, no brand here about the Brazilian Super League and very, very important player. Chelsea and me Pedro Lima deal. And Wolverhampton Wanderers. It is a Wolverhampton Wanderers after home Ababe via Pedro Lima. He has now agreed to move to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And this time it is his club, Sports Rectific, that announced that he's going to move to Wolverhampton Wanderers pending the regular thing, that is the medicals and what have you. Pedro Lima, a right back, and he against a Chelsea deal, no? A right back, and he against a Chelsea, and he was going to go on and go to Strasbourg. Of course, Strasbourg, and then with time, Chelsea can move in to come and play for the Chelsea main team or England. And I think that's the plan of Chelsea's multi-club model. No? Sometimes they will buy some of these young talents. They believe that almost the potential to get to the very top, but they are not up there yet. They give them a chance to play with their feeder clubs. Manchester City does it with Girona and other clubs in the world. Chelsea want to do it with Strasbourg. But the most important thing is that the French league now Chelsea a junior club or a feeder club or in Strasbourg, any attractive, sir. And also because they don't play in the Champions League, they are not playing in Europe. It is difficult for these teams to go and play. Manchester City can buy some of these top talents and then take them to Girona because they know that with time these talents would want to settle in Girona because Girona have normal ball good football. They've qualified for Europe any sign. But Chelsea need to change something, and I'll run you by them. Apart from Brighton friend Pedro Lima, there's also be Valentin Barco or Argentine. No, but Emma Boca Juniors. And also rejected a blue cool offer to join Strasbourg before returning to Chelsea and call Brighton. All of this in this summer. And Valentina Barco rejected at Chelsea Dino. And I think the blue cool recruitment, especially for Strasbourg now, it's almost strategized. One, I think that Chelsea needs a much more competitive club in Portugal and also Spain. Now, McCann has said several times, most of these players, or if we South America, more clubs or more per pound or Spain, and also because of places like Brazil, they speak Portuguese, and they are more comfortable going to places like Portugal as on the first step before they go to mainstream Europe, right? The last time somebody asked me what is mainstream, when I talk about mainstream, I'm talking about Germany, England, and these guys, most especially before the French ones, to say Portugal, Money, they would want to go to a place like Portugal. And especially with this issue of Pedro Lima, because just a few hours ago, I came to get a confirmation said Pedro Lima's deal not to Chelsea was already done. And then he had agreed. In fact, on Wemu and a game of sports rated a boy, he didn't play, he was on the bench. Ombisa and say, oh, the deal is almost done. And he was going to go to Chelsea. And then the club itself has announced Sir Branch friend Pedro Lima is not going to go to Chelsea. He's not going to go to Strasbourg. I mean, he's just going to join Blue Co at Strasbourg before Chelsea, because Wolves for Hijacked Jhon. Again, one of the things that Chelsea need to do and do better, and they said, Oshe Obi to say Strasbourg, any Oshe, these kind of players are, because they are hot cakes, no more scouting in tempting. What Chelsea ought to do, they said, they have to finish up those deals quicker. And so we are deals in them, because all my deal HR, and there's a lot of media conversation around the deal. Other clubs also realize the players' potential, they scout them, and then they go and tell the players, say, oh, you are not going to go and play for Chelsea and Casa, Okobama Blue Co and Strasbourg, and Umbambo English Premier League. Yeah, you are given opportunity to come and play in the English Premier League now. It's yen value in Tibarabo. And that's something that Chelsea really need to look at and change those things in terms of what they give to their players in that regard. They're very, very important on their side. And also, as almost silly transfer deals faster, like I've said earlier, but which is very, very important. Again, obvious news now. Pedro Lima is not going to come to Chelsea, as earlier reported. Hey, see, such Chelsea player where next season he is most likely going to be the next important player. A lot of the guys are analysis that we are focusing so much on the attacking players, but this Chelsea midfielder definitely looks like the guy that's going to turn things around next season, especially he's able to stay fit. Now, I need to make us I've chanced on a video of our branch here, your friend Romeo Lavia video where he was working out, preparing for in the off season, working hard. When he's a Belgian in the Euros, but then he's not going to be there because of the injury, and then he's preparing for next summer. And Romeo Lavia definitely getting ready. The actions. I've given you updates about Romeo Lavia injury. Now he's doing proper ball work. And McCann several times said, so Chelsea beat Bossa, very excellent 4-3-3, so that Moise Caicedo can do a box-to-box job, and Enzo Fernandez can be next to him to dominate play, and then there isn't going to be too much distances to cover. Then Romeo Lavia has to be fit, and Lavia prepared very, very, very hard and strong. Everything is clear. So he's doing very well in that regard. And I'll say, you share in the Instagram post, I'll say, I love when I am back in that mode. And according to Romeo Lavia, he's on the grass now. He's working hard on the grass. He's pushing. So very returning Chelsea Football Club. Then he can go on and then play some very, very good football. Yeah, train near baby Romeo Lavia. The movements about copy. Yeah, training how Romeo Lavia is going to be the new face next season. But I've said it several times. Everything that Romeo Lavia, he is important to Chelsea. And if Chelsea are able to get him fitter, he's going to be the main guy to go to Nyame Adoma next season. And Lavia himself prepare earnestly to make sure that everything is done very, very well in that regard for himself. Now, what's the update with Michael Olise? What's the update with Jhon Duran? And which other striker didn't have a conversation still? See, Chelsea wants Michael Olise. And Shedan Sisai the update for Michael Olise isn't too different from what you've heard. What Chelsea are trying to do, they say, they want that 100% confirmation for Michael Olise. Say player ninya ditum. Say Owan or Pa. Makani several times say Chelsea have changed on transfer strategy. The strategy has now been that make sure you finalize with a player. If you are done with a player, then we can go on and do a deal with a club. And always the example is with the Jules Koundé, Rafinha deals that Chelsea failed to do now. This time they want to finalize with a player. And if they're able to finalize with a player, they know that they can go on and then do a very, very good job in terms of what they want to do over there at Chelsea Football Club from the player side. In the next few days, and then the update is that Chelsea are still pushing to get 100% confirmation. Makacho said, for Michael Olise, he wanted to see if other clubs will also come. Bayern more, Manchester City more, Manchester United more are still looking at Michael Olise. They are still trying to convince him to join their project. But Chelsea for 6 months now have been working on a branch of friend Michael Olise. In fact, 6 October, they have been scouting him, they've been talking to him since that deal ended last season. They've been trying to finalize the deal for our branch friend Michael Olise, and they are still pushing earnestly to get it done. Yeah, Chia could see baby Friday, saying I make earlier on. It's just able to wait till then. They will see if they can finalize the deal for Michael Olise. Omunya view from the player side. They know say for Crystal Palace, almost favors from Chelsea. They would want to come in and take some players on loan for Premier League season, next season, any other day. So they would be play ball with Chelsea. And if they play ball with Chelsea, then the fee is not going to be too exorbitant. And now in the media, people are saying say Chelsea is going to pay too high as compared to what other Premier League players and teams will pay. So I'm going to call branch friend Michael Olise. That's where Chelsea are. They are pushing this week. Is still project Michael Olise and Chelsea are pushing to reach an agreement with Michael Olise. Still negotiations, no air cost, so talks are in, and the contact with Crystal Palace and so in the last few days. So Chelsea are pushing very hard. So maybe a branch here in front of Michael Olise deal. Now see, Aston Villa and Chelsea share for Jhon Duran. Now it's a conversation where they had, and to be very honest, it was about the mode of payment. Chelsea wants the player wants Chelsea. There are other clubs that have come in and said they want to come and take Jhon Duran away from Chelsea. But Omo Bayern, he has told them that they should wait for him to look at where the Chelsea deal will go first. Now, this is it from the player point. The player knows that Chelsea is a big step for him. Chelsea, when they went to meet the player, they know say 40 million is too much. But say on between your assets be about. Now, that is where there is the intertwining between Ian Mattison deal, any branch of Jhon Duran. Now, the thing is that Dortmund SA, they are struggling to raise the 35 million for Ian Mattison. I don't think that is true. They are not struggling. They just don't want to pay the release clause at Ian Mattison Ekita for 35 million. And the Chelsea said fine. If they don't get the release clause for 35 million for Ian Mattison, then say Aston Villa force to pay Ian Mattison. They want to maintain and let Aston Villa understand say Ian Mattison now most mobile fan the free one. The release clause 35 million. It is also Jhon Duran 40 million. Now say Ian Mattison 35 million there. They will give you just 5 million and then take Jhon Duran. Now that's where the negotiations are. And there's a possibility player swap first team players, player swap and most likely a better branch here for Ian Mattison. And Chelsea want to make sure say also by the next 2 weeks, all of these deals of Olise, Jhon Duran, they get most of their players also fit. Then fully, Sir Enzo Maresca take over Jhon on the 1st of July. They can go in there, prepare the team, play ball, prepare in preseason, and the next season come in and compete in the which is very, very important. Of course, there are other transfer conversations before I quickly do a post-match analysis of France for a big game and then Austria, and of course the one that went ahead, Belgium versus Slovakia match. And so now around here, your friend, what's his name? This young man, Mason Greenwood. I agree personal terms. I told you that Mason Greenwood has a lot of suitors, both in Spain and of course in Italy. In Italy near Juventus, and in Spain, Valencia, Abba. And he has told both Juventus and Valencia saying any of them that can do a deal with Manchester United, he is ready to come. He is ready to come. I will always keep on talking about Lenny Yoro because of a big transfer conversation this summer at centre back at age 18. Real Madrid for plan A is simple. Wait for the boy's contract to expire in 2025. We take him for free. For Manchester United, they need a dominant centre back at the right hand side. Liverpool super dominant centre back to understudy Virgil van Dijk. Even after Jair Konsa and Ibu Konate, they want the depth in the middle of the park. Centre back one, and that's why they are looking at a branch of Lenny Yoro. Now, Lenny Yoro also have gone on to meet Luis Enrique and Luis Campos. They are doing project Lenny Yoro because they want to convince him to stay in France and for Paris Saint-Germain. And not see another deal developing. And as the day goes by and turns into weeks now, we'll give you updates on that. And then in Group C and D, big games about and then the first one, of course, Romania versus Ukraine. Ukraine really, for me, flattered to deceive. They were a team I expected them to do more, and I think I don't know why the Ukrainian manager Kokoba Abrantia friend Mihailo Modric on the wing again. I think Mihailo Modric's best position is central when he plays as a 10 and combines with other players next to him. Again, Modric is very, very low in confidence and it's affecting his overall gameplay. I think that he's too shy as a person. That's also affecting his overall gameplay. But definitely, Romania were good. Stanchu, which had that brilliant goal. Of course, 2 mistakes for our branch friend Andrew Lelane. He was devastated. But then you give kudos and thumbs up to Tima, the friend of Romania. They fought very high, very, very well off the ball, won a lot of balls, very, very aggressive. And then they transmitted all of that quality into making sure they won that game now by 3-0. I was our group one. Now into the next match, Belgium versus Tima, your friend of Slovakia. See, regardless of whatever happened inside game of Belgium versus Slovakia, for me, I think that Kevin De Bruyne have to do more. I like Domenico Tedesco, how he played and how he set up this Belgian side. The fact that they dominated large parts of the game. Their man-for-man press in the middle of the park was good. I think that it's just the extra job from Stanislav Lobotka and Andrei Duda and Emma Jumani here did more for Team FC for Belgium. But then again, you ask yourself, how much more imposing could Obi to say Kevin De Bruyne have done more for Team FN in Belgium? Andre Onana, of course, wasn't as utmost best, and then he got overrun several times by Lobotka. And Romelu Lukaku goals, they were ruled out for offside. It was not a good night for Team IFN Belgium. But I think that tactically, they are one of the best set up teams. They've been very, very well. They played some good stuff, but they just failed to impose themselves and then get a final instincts up top. And I think that to a large extent, they were not unlucky. They were not lucky inside game against Slovakia. So we'll wait to see how the Belgian team grows in that. Then to the big one. See, give respect to Ralf Rangnick, any Obia who appointed Ralf Rangnick as their manager. I think that implementing the Red Bull style of play, the 4-2-2-2, the press and the counter press up top, winning the ball from those zones, turning over possession. Austria were just the final bits, the final third ball not away from really, really getting the equalizer. I hope that this wasn't their best game of the season and they can do better. The Austrian midfield of Konrad Laimer and Marcel Sabitzer were very, very good in winning duels. Kevin Danso was also brilliant at it and delimited France a lot of the times. So most of the times on that left-hand side, it took Theo Hernandez's ability to dribble and then play forward. They were very, very good in their press in there. And then I think that they were just unlucky. France have to do better. Of course, Kylian Mbappe a very, very good chance or Messi's chance. But then again, I think that the Euros is giving us some tough competition. And you will not fault Kylian Mbappe too much if he sees that the Euros is very, very difficult to play. In the guys, and I'm ready and updating you. We'll bring you the best also in terms of updates, and in the afternoon give you all the updates that you need to hear of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Team show, subscribe to the channel, subscribe here, turn on notification. It's important. Pass over subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube.